Okay, well, it's finally time for the August update on Pere Marquette 1225. And as you can see, we're outside here, and for the first time, I think on video here, I'm getting you footage of the tender outside. It's been out for a couple of weeks now. We had to clear out space on the other track there to make room for the stuff that's coming in, like like the tube sheet and some other stuff. In fact, I got a surprise for you to show you when we get in there. Uh, yeah, it's late August now, and haven't been able to get out here with the video for a while, but that has just made more time for us to get more stuff done so I can show you. And as you can see down here, those panels that were at the top of the car when it was inside are now over the roof where the bunker is. So that way it'll keep the weather out of it. Just a little bit is open up here on the front. You can see the bunker doors are. You can see they're open there, but yeah, probably won't get anything in there because of the collar at the top anyhow. Another thing is the flat cars over here. We contacted the Grand Trunk Historical Society and still haven't got back with us. They got about maybe 30 more days, I think they said, before we just take possession of them, because we haven't heard from them for quite a while, and our stuff's been at since the shop, since we moved from the old shop about 10 years ago. So yeah, they've been just moved around with the machines on for the longest time, and we're actually looking at getting some foundation made outside to just put those things down on for the time being. Flat cars are getting a little decrepit. There used to be idler flats for like the car ferries that Grand Trunk had over in Ludington, and it's a possibility that they might still be restored as flat cars. We really don't want to scrap them if we don't have to. The number 10 here was going to be scrapped, but I guess somebody went ahead and bought it. Now he's got some time to get off our property before we start having him pay storage on it. But so, you know, he got lucky. It's not going to be scrapped. So we'll still see old Troy Mackinac locomotive run yet. We still got a chance. Apparently this guy's got some money. I think he said that it was MTM that bought it. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna head on inside now. Out here, you can see the railroads move some of their stuff around. We now have the blue and yellow-ended boxcar out here from the old Tisby days, back when the owner was, I think, a Michigan grad. Good for you guys. I mean, not that I have any problem against you, but yeah. Still wearing the state T-shirt. I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah, it's the same one that you saw in the other video, but anyway, yeah, we're still pretty much a Michigan State kind of run thing, but we got Michigan people who come out here and volunteer, and that's okay too. The more the merrier. And we're going on in here now, and okay, you can see the engine here. We're packing up for the day. We've just done some primer work on the front end here. We got Larry Hyde here, and he was helping me paint, or I was helping him. So say hi, Larry.
Hey, Nick. Am I dirty? Am I okay?
Oh, you're okay. I mean, I'm a little bit dirtier because I was underneath, but
my roller
that's
weighs
my
400
fault.
pounds. My pan
Yeah.
from the paint, but this is mine. I keep this so that I don't lose it, and it's accumulating. It's probably 1/2 the weight of the
It's
engine.
getting thicker.
Yeah. All right, Nick. Well, thanks for the help.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, so we've been working on the priming work up here. We're gonna start doing macro epoxy, which is the thick black paint that will go on top of it. But we had to finish this up for today. We finally got up under here, under the very, very front part of the engine, and worked up under here. We also got the sill around the door done. I decided to have that primered too, so that way the rust wouldn't go back on it before we got the seal done on there. Still haven't worked any further into the smoke box itself because I'm still afraid they'll sandblast again and ruin my work. But yeah, it'll be around another month or so. Hopefully that'll all be cleaned out too, because then they gotta get in there and seal that up. So yeah, it's getting done. We still got stay-bolts over here to go through. These, wow, these are done. I got the telltales drilled in them already, and they're ready to go. These ones are down here are the ones that aren't finished yet, and these ones are ones that have been cut. I don't know if they're gonna finish them or not. And we got the smaller ones over there. But yeah, they're all marked, so which sizes they are, and then you can tell where they go. So yeah, the firebox is not quite finished yet. They had some delays. The Boilermakers, they can only have 3 in here for now, but they're going to be, actually I'm going to go on around this side and show you, because that's the part that's not done. You saw the fireman side already in earlier updates. You can see the machine tools here, they've been all busy at work today. We've had some contract work going on. I think I mentioned in the last update, they're working on a whistle for a car ferry. I think it might have been Pere Marquette number 10. I'm pretty sure that one was scrapped a long time ago, but we're working on the whistle for it. This here is the new seat for the whistle. And it was just a big piece of brass when they started, and they've carefully drilled away at it, and they finally got it bored out over the past couple weeks, and pretty much down to pretty close to where it needs to be put back together. This is all the shavings, all the brass shavings that came from that piece. And now the owner kind of wants it back to sell back for money, which is a great idea because it's got to cost him a little bit. I mean, it's a giant piece of brass. But anyway, this tube here, you might have seen in an earlier video, is actually the tube for the whistle, the original one. It was taken, straightened out, and then returned on the rollers we got on the table back here. And we also got the valve on the table still. I need some parts fixed on it. I'll show you that in a moment. But yeah, the Boilermakers, they've been in here, and we got the message, they're gonna be in here 7 days a week for the next 2-3 weeks, finish up their work on the engine. So they'll be done finally with the firebox. So yay on that one. A big win and getting the locomotive done. Here's some more of the rigid stay bolts right here, the ones without the round heads on them. Some that need to be done. And yeah, we've been working on these. But here's the big surprise that I've been waiting to show you. You remember the tubes? Well, they're here. Surprise! These are all the tubes and flues that need to go inside of the boiler. So, $45,000 later, and they're here. And they're all ready to go in. It's just we need to get down with the firebox. I'll go over there and show you it in a moment. But as you can see, they're all black tubes, and they're pretty solid steel. And they get worn out as they're not the same kind of metal as the well, they're steel, but they're not the same SAE, I guess, as the actual boiler itself, so they can be made to wear out, so you could just replace them. But yeah, they're all here. See, these ends here are in that shape, so that way they can be pushed around inside the tube sheet and made to fit. But they're all made a certain size for the holes that are inside the boiler on the tube sheets. And there's a couple different sizes here, and that's how you can tell this is a superheated steam locomotive, because there's different sizes of the tubes. Whereas one that's not superheated would just have one size tube in there. And here's some extra pieces of steel. This sheet here is the new back tube sheet that will go by the combustion chamber where the new firebox is, and we gotta have the holes bored out of it first, and not sure this might be a piece of what was used for the side sheets. Just cut out. Yeah, so we got them all in here, and we're gonna be making some stuff out of them. And like I said, it's late August, so we're coming down to the wire here. But anyway, now we got the tubes, and now we really gotta finish up the firebox. The back here, I better show you that first, is coming right along. I mean, the fireman side's done. That was done a couple months ago, but now they're almost done with the back head, the back sheet. I think there's some more welding to do inside, whereas here on the outside it's mostly done. Just see these flexible stay bolts here need to be put in place all the way and done. They're flexible because so the corners can flex out more. They have the rigid ones in here, so that will hold the sides in more. They want it to flex around where it's jointed together. Well, it's welded together. It's not jointed, just where the rivets are. That's where the actual joint is. But they're held in there pretty tight. But here's a better view of that. You can see all the ones that are done. There's just a few of them that aren't. And down here too. Yeah, so it's just a little ways to go on that part. Of course, they need to cut out the hole for the firebox door and have that formed. And this is all riveted down here. They finally finished that part. What they did was they finished up on the other side over here. Remember last time there was a few rivets left to go in there, but they finished those up, and then they worked their way around the corner all the way on this side last week and finished up over here, and that's where they've stopped. And they've been reaming these holes over here for the rest of the rivets, and they'll be finishing up these next week. So they want to have those done before, I guess, all the rest of the stay bolts are in. The crown sheet has been the real trouble. We've had to get some bolts done. What they're trying to do, as you can see up in there, kind of the sheet, they're still grinding a little bit at the top, trying to finish that up so it's perfect. But really, that's just for the front part, and the sheet is still being drilled. We're waiting to put that in, but we gotta try and get some of this done first. What we've been doing is we've been taking the long stays and welding some nuts onto the ends of them, so that way they can be drilled into the top. And then once they're through and they've been welded in, the nuts will be cut off and reused. That's what we're looking at. So up in there, that's where the new combustion chamber will go, and the new flue sheet. And like you probably saw just a moment ago, you probably guessed it's only a half circle. That's because back here by the firebox, it's only going to be a parted size as the other end, because of how much the firebox takes up to the boiler. So that's what we're looking at so far. So next month here, it should be pretty well together with the firebox. We've been working down here, like I said. We primered, finished the primering today, and tomorrow when I come back, I plan maybe starting the macro epoxy. And for those of you who don't know, that's the thick black paint that goes on the outside, on top of the primer here. And we're going to work our way from the front to the back. So that way, by the time we get back there, they'll be all done with that. But the macro epoxy is what's going to help us look for any cracks or holes in the boiler that are on the outside for when we first put the water in, and then when we slowly bring it under steam finally, it'll be ready to go. We can find any spots and seal them up with the once the macro epoxy is on, we can use just do a weld and get that all done. So we still got a ways to go, but with the tubes here now, all we gotta do is raise some money for those, and they can go in. Of course, we gotta get the firebox done first. A couple months ago, I was saying after the meeting we had, we needed to get over $300,000. Well, good news is we only need to raise $200,000. And our executive director would like to do that in the next 70 days here, so that we can do a steam test maybe around or just after Christmas. Make sure it's all together by that time, so we can then we can put all the rest of the stuff on it and have it running by April or May. So coming down right down to the wire, but it's getting there. The outside is pretty much all primered on. Once they're done up there, we're gonna do all the primering there too. But we're gonna start macropoxing already on the front end. It will actually start turning black again. The engine will look kind of familiar again, instead of just the smoke box door, but it'll all start turning black, and then actually what goes on, of course, will be the lagging, the insulation, and then the new jacketing will go on the outside, and of course that'll be black too. So that's what we're looking at. A whole lot of things done. What we're looking at in the next few weeks here is the rods. As you can see here, they haven't been taken off. As we've been rolling it in and out here, we want to keep it all together as much as we can. But Kevin said that while they're finishing up on the firebox here, one of these weekends we gotta take the rods off on the one side and clean them off and repair anything that needs to be repaired on them, oil them back up and stick them back on there, and then the next weekend do the other side. So we're not laying down on the job here, we're getting it done. I mean, it's just amazing how far it's come within the past year. I mean, it's just amazing. We're getting it all together. I'm glad I showed you guys those tubes. And I'm pretty excited here the next few months to finally get ready to put those in. We need $30,000 to install them, but remember, just less than a couple months ago I said that we need $50,000 to get them here. Well, they're here at $45,000. We've pretty much got them paid off now, and we're working on getting that done. So once the firebox is done, all the money will probably go to putting the tubes in, and we'll see how it goes. But from SRI here, we'll do another update in September. Okay.